compatible. So it's not they're changing the OGL, they're just adding on an extra section for the new thing.
It's a really roundabout way of making
an
the
amendment
system license or whatever it is they did for 4th edition.
Well, because that's the thing, it'll still be part of the OGL, it'll just be a new section of it to address this new content, which is a better way of addressing it. Right? New subsection rather than we're rerunning the whole thing and killing everybody.
And ironically, their First Amendment will be the opposite of free speech.
Yep. Well, it wasn't the First Amendment. That was a while ago.
Oh, there, I fixed the audio issue. For a moment, you were echoing. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Hello.
Has anyone yet gone over the Black Flag PDF for Cobalt Press?
I've perused it.
So, did you think it was a watered-down version of 5th edition with almost no substance to it, and that the next 3 packets better have something on combat and degrees of success and anything else they can actually offer to bring from the system, rather than the whole motif being Black Flag pirating D&D, basically?
Well, they stated from the get-go their intention was to basically take 5e and run with it, like Paizo did with 3.5.
Yes.
But, yeah, it was very, lacking in anything of particular substance. The one interesting bit, though, is if you notice that heritages are not bound to lineage. They are, there are ones that are typical.
I did not.
That's neat.
So, the stone and forge heritages, which are ordered as, a subsection of dwarf, technically are not dwarf only.
So, you could be a forge human?
Yep, or a forge elf.
Huh. No, I did not pick that up.
It's presented in a way that it's these ones are most typical with this lineage, ancestry, race, whatever term you want to use, but are not exclusive to. They're just more of a, hey, you were raised this way, and if you happen to be raised, the oddball human raised in a dwarf city, yeah, you might be a dwarf heritage then, because you're magic.
So, you could play an elf with a Scottish accent.
Oh, dear God.
I mean, you still could now. It'd be really weird, but...
And they would have a fake beard, too.
No, they have one of those, pubescent boy mustaches, because that's the best that will grow.
Oh my God.
12-year-old Mexican girl.
Terrible.
It's a deep school trauma for that elf. Everybody called him Smooth Chin.
Speaking of school trauma, congratulations, sir.
Thank you very much.
Oh, congratulations.
Princeton is nothing to sneeze at. You are one of the most brilliant genetic engineers in the country, if not the world.
It is, no joke, my number one choice of program in the world. Like, my second choice was a program at Harvard. This was my dream program that I swung for.
This is the first time I've ever heard someone saying Harvard was the second choice.
Actually, right now, Princeton is ranked number 1 overall.
Oh.
And MIT is the second, Harvard is the third.
Yeah, Harvard is mostly known for law, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And med school. Really, really good.
Yeah,
No, they have a really good medical program.
Yeah, when you look at the top schools, they're the top for certain fields.
Yep. Right now, this year, overall, across all levels of education and areas of education, Princeton is number 1, MIT is number 2, and Harvard is number 3. But the program is just perfect. Like, it was made for science, in a specific niche, how I think and do things. It was
Yes.
made just for those people, hence only 8 people a year. It is a small but perfectly tailored, like it's perfectly matching for me program. And I hate them that they haven't sent the paper yet, because I will sign it the moment I receive it.
But you received the notification.
Yes, a faculty member who I intend to work with called me, and because he's on the commission, and he congratulated me. And the director of the program emailed me saying, "Congratulations, you will be admitted. The paperwork is coming as soon as it will be finished early next week."
Oh, nice. Well, congrats. Very much so. I can't tell you how many times I've wanted to yell at you and tell you to take a break and take time for yourself, but I'm glad you never listened to me and kept working.
I will never learn,
Yeah, you did learn.
except
You
except
kept
for the next
learning.
5 years. Yes.
You wouldn't listen
Except
to
that's
not
kind of-
learning.
Yes, I will never stop learning.
Yes. Now, you do understand that you should never ever feel obligated to use your time for this game and whatnot. If you feel as though you would like to holistically concentrate on your career, do not think of me as holding you back. I am here in case you have time and want to play. If that means more infrequently, that is perfectly fine.
That is likely starting in August. We do have, so Princeton has a tabletop club just for postdocs, and most of them are biologists.
Oh, nice. Maybe you'll give them Bramble's name, and maybe Bramble can run thing with more smart peoples.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I'm planning, and do you remember the Spooker Girls?
Yes.
They're an hour away, so we're thinking maybe a weekly or bi-weekly IRL game.
Oh, nice. It's very intimidating to have a group of all women like that. You handle it very well, sir.
They're very nice girls.
They're very
not,
they're
you know.
they're very hungry too. They're very vicious when they get started. Once they get rolling.
I like that about them.
I like having mostly male players because everyone's very calm and very oriented. For the most part.
I choose it based on personalities and how they match. Well, speaking of schooling programs and schooling people in games.
Oh, you want to know about Necro Hogwarts?
Oh yeah.
Who's getting an undead owl? And who's going in as themselves?
Oh yeah, there's also that one guy who wants to play board games like some sort of nerd.
Yep.
How
They
did
still
we
have-
get from infiltrating Hogwarts but undead to playing board games with somebody?
So, the thing about that board game, and I want to tell you this in the nicest way possible because I spent a lot of my
I read
time.
those.
I've spent
I
a
read
lot
those
of my time
posts.
prepping for these sessions, and I'm going like, all right, I'm going to read the rules of the blood price today. I go to the back of the module, there's nothing there. I go to the section of the game, there's nothing there. And they're going like, start positions, board, special abilities. And I'm like, no. I'm going crazy. There's nothing here. So, I want you to think of every Milton Bradley and otherwise board game you can think of. Because we're going to
No
need all that.
problem.
Go ahead.
I'm from Germany. We're the capital of board games.
Oh, nice. Perfect. Fantastic.
It's gonna be like 100-piece like jigsaw puzzle.
Or
100,000-piece jigsaw puzzle.
Do you know that board game Talisman? It's going to be like that.
Oh god.
I'm imagining the joke, the bit from Parks and Rec, Cones of Dunshire. You see, it was never about your characters. It was all about the codes.
Oh no. Well, as long as it's not like Settlers of Catan.
What's wrong with Settlers of Catan?
Well, it's the ultimate screw your neighbor game. I know that.
That's true.
No, it's not.
Which
have
game is
not-
worse?
So
Monopoly.
many. Monopoly is horrific. Risk that way.
Oh, I like that was-
Also, in my opinion, the ultimate board game for murdering a weekend was not made in Germany.
Where was it made?
Oh.
What is this?
Twilight Imperium for Fantasy Flight Games. Oh my god, that game will murder a weekend. It takes so fucking long.
Talisman can take a long time depending on how you play it.
That one can too, yeah, but I've had weekends murdered by people organizing games of Twilight Imperium. Oh dear god.
And I think I gotta be honest too. My favorite board game is actually not from Germany either. It's very, very United States, I think. Pandemic.
That's a solid one.
It's very fun, and you can screw over yourselves collectively.
I tried to make a joke when I was explaining the rules to my girlfriend, because after years she's finally is getting close to playing D&D with me, and I made this clip. I posted it in memes, and I assumed this is what it was like for her, for me to explain the rules.
Oh no. Is it better than the Hot Pockets? Video contains content from NBC Universal, who is blocked in my country. That doesn't sound right. That doesn't sound right at all.
Okay, hang on. I think the video's too big otherwise to share.
That's okay. I will find it some way after the game, but it is very unusual that NBC Universal would be blocked in USA.
Yes, why would they do that? I wonder.
It must be a terrible show. Alright, so what would you like to do, children? Would you like to play the children's card game with the old man? Or do you want to go to Hogwarts? Do you want to, party some more? What is on the agenda for fledgling Bloodlords?
I play Bulbasaur face down in attack position.
Oh god, there's going to be a lot of that, unfortunately, with no
Bulbasaur?
rules.
That is the wrong rule.
You triggered my trap card. It is a Black Lotus.
Oh
That
no.
was the joke. That was the joke.
At least it's not
Unfortunately, I
an
could
Orb
only
of
think-
Annihilation.
Mm,
Which is getting
My trap-
reprinted as an NFT.
What?
my trap card was all 5 pieces of Exodia.
How are you gonna use that card in the funny way?
That's exactly the point. You can't use those Magic the Gathering cards as Magic the Gathering cards, but you own the receipt for them.
Yeah, dude.
It's okay. You can have Hot Pockets. You can own those.
I have one Hot Pocket left in my freezer.
But is it a Magic the Gathering Hot Pocket?
No.
You know what? I can get a better NFT. I just gotta finish my T800 project at work. My buddy finishes his Skynet project at his work. We put it together, and then I can have that CEO's head as an NFT.
Oh no.
I don't know what I'm making the NFT acronym stand for, but I'd have his actual head.
You know what? I'll come with you and do that.
Now, Lander, you're probably too young to know, but Skynet is a bad thing.
But having
You
his head-
say that, but these days, honestly, would Skynet be that bad?
How many times have they remade Terminator? You don't have to be young to.
we need to.
You have to be
cleanse
really
Hollywood.
young to not know about it.
Fun fact, my father-in-law was, what the hell's the character's name? Kyle, whatever. His dead body in Terminator 1.
Oh god.
He was part of the production staff, and they needed someone to sub in as the dead body, so...
Do we hang out with Bloodlord or do we not?
So he's in the same hotel. You can just go from the penthouse suites all the way down to the cheap rooms.
I'd be interested in doing so, but I don't necessarily speak for the group.
I have one taker for board game.
Just as a quick serious note, was there anything of big importance last time I should know about?
Oh, that's right. I'm sorry. I was so caught up in the good news, I didn't do the recap. So?
I'm planning on watching the session anyways, but I didn't get to it yet, sadly.
That's
We went drinking. I made it to the very last leg. Everyone else, well, Risu dropped out first leg.
I made it
So
much
it's-
farther than I thought I would.
So instead, we just propped Risu up in like a bag of holding with the head sticking out, and we made funny like stacking stuff on him.
We had a
Okay.
partying gauntlet. Basically, the guy was partying so hard, we had to roll checks harder than to save our lives in the past, just to keep up with him.
yes.
And then
That's
I
very
became the
university
rave.
town. Very university town.
Yes, and then I became the rave, and he's like, "I like you, kid.
He
Here's
is
some drugs."
Yes. He's part of the vampire fraternity that does vampire studies at the university, which is just a front for the fraternity.
So yeah, we basically shopped a bit. By the way, we were wondering if you're gonna use that shield in the bag or in the chest.
If
The
If you
spell
want,
turning, was that it?
spell something, yeah.
Spellguard shield.
Spellguard, yeah.
Yep, we didn't know if you want to keep it or not.
I mean,
if you don't, sell it. We don't need to sell
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, that one is probably better to sell at some point.
So yeah, we did a little bit of shopping,
Mm-hmm.
and then we showed up to the guy, and he's like, "Wake up, samurai! We got a city to snort." And we tried to keep up with him. We were actually keeping up like very well for how high the checks got. But eventually all of us got tired. We were trying to like get some rep out of him, so like we were trying to impress him with partying, but also questioned him a bit. But then, we started dropping off. Ren was the only one who made it to the hunt, but he couldn't land the hunt.
No, the hunt
no, I
was
made it-
fine. It was getting home.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
I-
you couldn't keep up on the last leg of the journey.
I opted to try and sneak off and take the elevator instead, and he caught me.
Right.
Okay.
But in the morning, or that would be reversed, right? Or is it in the morning?
Yeah,
No, it is in
because
the morning.
he went to sleep until he can get more drugs.
Yes. But yeah, he's like, "I like the way you party, kid. Here's 5 reputation points for you and your friends. And also a stone. And also we got deep about circles. Again.
Yes, all these
Very good.
squares make a circle.
Or all these circles make a square.
It's like, I hate these circles. But there's an Aeon stone orbiting everybody's head." Like, oh no. And that's pretty much it, yeah. That's all we did.
All
We
right.
shopped and
Wonderful.
partied.
Bramble, can we flip to our page where we see our rep with
Ah, yes, of course.
the factions?
Yes. So you do not forget the things. There you are. So I have one person who would like to go gaming with Kyril Vonth. Any other takers?
I mean, if
I'm
there's
down
any
for it.
if there's any place to argue about the legalities of game rules, it's there.
Oh, yes. Yes, very much so. Very, very much so. So I have 3 people interested in game night or game day.
Oh, Risu would be interested, honestly.
You are not required.
Yeah, I'll go. I'll see what it's about.
Okay, so that's 4 people.
I go with a party in a big town. Tatters is on a leash. He doesn't know what's going on. Remember,
Alright.
he freaked out when he found out how densely populated the first town was. I assume this is just mind-boggling for him.
Mm-hmm.
So he's just on a child, you know that child strap on the front of somebody? He's just strapped into it.
Yes, like the small dogs. Well, it's very easy to find this man. You discover that he's reading a historical treatise in the hotel lobby. The statue of Aranzani looming over him. He replaces his bookmark, stands, and greets you in a somber and thoughtful voice. I thought we might get to know each other over a game, he says. Do you know the rules to Blood Price?
Do you?
No!
No one does.
No one did. That's the best game ever.
He just bought it. It's still in its wrapping. Never opened it before.
It is said that the developers themselves do not know the rules of the game.
I mean, the point of the rules of the game are that knowing the rules of the game is kind of detrimental to the game. So
we're
you
playing
made a good
Starfinder
choice.
ship
I
combat.
was just about
Oh,
to
dear
fucking say
God.
that. You.
Have a hero point, young man. You truly have made me proud in 2 ways today.
I like
Remember-
it's so not earned because I've never played it and have no idea why it's bad. I just heard terrible things.
You made us suffer by saying it.
I just remembered that Abomination Vaults, there is one room where they reference a board game that is never referenced anywhere else and say it's a bit like chess in some ways, but also this particular game is missing the pieces required for the win condition, so it will never end.
Yes.
There is more description there than there is for this entire scene.
Yes, there is. There really is. So, Blood Price is an economic strategy board game simulating Geb, its factions, and the machinations of the Bloodlords. And he'll set everything up the hotel library, where a copy of the game is available for guests to use. And he lets you all take a seat and whatnot, and surprisingly enough, you are served refreshments inside of the library, which for normal people would not be possible. Each of you must select one of Geb's factions to be your piece. Kyril, of course, will play the Export Guild.
I'll play the Celebrants.
Ren will take the tax collectors.
Yeah, Lex wouldn't take the tax collectors in this game because he thinks they are displayed as way too stiff, and he thinks he'll go with the Carters.
Oh, the Carters. Bold
Yeah.
choice.
Jarloff.
I'll be boring and just pick, reanimated.
I guess I'm builders.
Okay, not what I expected. During the game, each player begins with a starting position on the board, a special ability, a unique victory condition, and a bank of resources, all decided by their choice of faction. God, I wish I knew where that information was, because it's not in the PDF or the VTT module. So, starting with Lander, what's the Celebrant's special ability?
I would assume either deception or persuasion. I like deception because we're in. Is that what you're talking about for special ability? Or do you want me to make up like
yes.
what they're gonna do?
Yes, bullshit like Yu-Gi-Oh.
What is their stand?
Spread lies, I guess. That will be their special ability.
Okay, I like that.
Fake news. There you go. That's what it is.
Fake news. Perfect. Crash. What is the tax collector's special ability?
New tax to take resources from other players.
Oh no. It's like Armello. JK, the Carter's Guild. Special ability.
So, because of historical reasons, if I remember correctly, their special ability has been actually changed in the latest errata. There once were something logistical like getting resources quickly from point A to point B, but now it's actually using a Psycho Bomb to actually bomb a place. Because of the uprising.
Oh, bombing.
Yeah, bombing.
Okay. Not what I expected from the Carter's Guild, but alright. Friendly. The special ability.
Special ability, zoning permits. You can choose a tile on the board and change, what's allowed to be on there.
Okay.
I can rezone zoning permits.
Nice. Faz? Special ability of the Reanimators?
Well, I tried for a good long time to try and think of something that would make sense in a board game, and the only thing coming to mind constantly is if I'm going to lose, I can turn this into a game of Risk, and my armies are all over the country because that is a genuine threat of the Reanimators.
Oh god.
Or it might be something boring like don't have to pay upkeep work costs. Who knows? Who knows?
This could actually be a fun game if somebody made it.
Yeah, you if someone were to develop it somehow, you could say.
Yes.
Ah, well.
Reanimator's goal could be just moving their pawns into like every quadrant or something, and then they win because they're everywhere.
Or just filling it up enough areas.
Yeah.
All right.
The tax collector's win condition would be everybody else is below a certain amount of resources.
Or you're above everyone by a certain amount.
Yeah.
Builders would have enough certain buildings in certain places, kind of thing.
It's Exodia, but it isn't.
Yeah, Carters probably have something like the longest road or the longest train objective, but
So the Carters play it as Settlers of Catan.
Yeah.
The Builders League is playing Seven Wonders. Reanimators is playing Risk. Tax Collectors are playing Monopoly. As one game.
There's all these different tokens from all these different board games all over this mishmash of a board.
I wish that clip worked. I wish the clip because it describes this perfectly. It's like, no, this mechanic is like playing the game in reverse.
Oh god.
Yeah, I never watched the show, but my wife did, and I've seen some of those parts, and they're just painful. Well done for the show, but for me as someone who enjoys board games, oh god, it's painful.
So, I'm going to need you, now that you're in combat, to roll your initiative, but you do not need to roll perception. If you have gaming lore, you may roll that, in addition to deception, diplomacy, society, intimidation, or thievery. Those may be your initiatives.
Rolling good.
Go, Tatterstraw.
Sorry, I was setting up a crucial sound.
Oh no.
It is of absolute most importance. You'll find out in a second why.
Oh no. Why are you Kebgetta? Why is Kebgetta still here?
Because I have faces of all people.
Oh, he didn't roll that well either. So, Risu, I must tell you that you have 6 turns in which to gain victory. And the way that you gain a point or 2 points is to succeed or critically succeed on a single check to deception to bluff, diplomacy to form or maintain an alliance with another player, a games lore check to master the rules of play, society to apply the knowledge of Geb, intimidation to make an aggressive play, or you can flat out roll a thievery check to cheat, such as pocketing a resource or manipulating the dice. All the DC checks start at 21 and will increase for every success that you gain.
Ooh. Okay, I'll do deception for my first one then.
Okay, so you're bluffing.
Yeah. Hey, did you hear what the reanimators did? Just so deceit.
Ah, success. You gain 1 point. Make sure to keep track of that.
Gotcha, let me write it up.
Because the first person to 10 points wins. This game we don't know how to play.
We're improving a game inside improving our characters.
Yo, dog. I heard you like improv.
All right, Ren. You are the tax collectors. What do you do to manipulate the outcome of Geb and claim victory over the other factions?
Let's start with a society check.
Okay. Applying your knowledge of Geb.
Figure out who I need to maneuver around and do what.
Yeah,
Tax
yeah.
to.
Ooh. Success. You gain 1 point. Tatterstraw.
Alright. So Tatterstraw is gonna have camera zoom in on him.
Oh no.
They're thinking I don't know what's going on, but I can see inside their heads. I've been traveling with them, growing with them. I know how they think. So I'm gonna do an insight on everybody else.
Okay. All right.
Let's see if
Considering
you
Tatters-
appropriate. Yes!
Oh my god, you gain you gain 2 points because you look ahead to everyone else's moves, and Kyril is very impressed for the first round.
I picture Tatters, because he's playing the Builders League, is like subtly like doing like an impression of Ren in like body language or something for this.
He doesn't know what I'm thinking, unless he knows exactly what I'm thinking. But I've planned for this, because I'm thinking like I know that he knows that I'm thinking. But I am not. And I move some pieces.
Okay. All right, so it's Kyril's turn. And of course, he's going to use his his games lore because that's his big thing. That's who he is. And he's going to declare that the Export Guild is going to cease all trade with all other nations, gaining massive income for Geb alone, crashing the world of Galarian's economy, starting with Absalon, and he's going to gaming lore. Critical success. He is now matched with Tatterstraw, and he looks directly at him. Yes, you've seen ahead at my moves, but what you didn't anticipate was the winning move was not to play. Lex.
Lex is clearly going for the latest cheesy strategy that has been discussed in the halls of the Tax Collectors Guild all around.
You mean the forums?
Yes, the forums.
Flick Mace it is.
Yeah, no, and that's the reason he chose the Caritas, because, well, if you blow up at the beginning of every game, if you haven't prepared for it, it is very detrimental to the stuff. Afterwards, the ability becomes a little bit useless, but you can try to cheese it in the beginning a little bit.
Success with your hostile play. You gain 1 point.
I spent the rest of my actions to end. No, just kidding.
God. Jarloff, some very impressive plays so far. What will the reanimators do to gain power in Geb?
The question. Do we have to use different skills every turn, or...
Nope, because every time you get a success, the DC is gonna go up.
Okay. Jarloff's been sitting here, watching everybody play and thinking over the rules, looking over them. And slowly beginning to realize, since he's going last, it is exceedingly unlikely he's going to win.
Yes, the fate of all reanimators.
We literally rolled dice to see who went first. That's just probability.
No, it is fate. Believe in the heart of the dice.
Even though this is probably one of those weird German games that doesn't actually use dice.
You know there are spells that can, rig gambling, right?
Heart of the dice.
I'm just here to roll dice and have fun, man. I'm not taking this too seriously.
You know, in some variations, rigging the dice might actually be considered legal in some situations. Here it isn't. Just making that clear.
I don't know those spells, I just know they exist.
Your knowledge of society has gained you a point.
Alright.
Now we go on to round 2. Risu, if you wish to use Deception again, the DC will be up to 22, or you may use one of the other abilities mentioned at DC 21. It is your choice.
Was there a corresponding lore check we can make, or is that just
Gaming lore?
lore?
Yep.
Gotcha. Okay.
Gaming lore.
Then I will do Deception again.
DC 22. What lies are you spreading? Oh, the best lies! You gain 2 points for a total of 3!
I'm going to just, throw everyone off their game and tell their deepest secrets, because that's what I've collected on them,
That's not... That's not a lie, that's...
The best lies are the
deception.
truths!
Deception.
The best lies are the truths. I like how
But I
you
manipulate
play.
them to make them worse, okay? That's all it is.
Oh, you're much more interesting than I gave you all credit for. Ren.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep leveraging society.
Okay, the DC will be 22 instead of 21 then. Ah, success. You gain 1 point. What knowledge of Geb did you use against the other players?
I'm gonna start leveraging things like what happened to the Carter's Consortium, what currently, or more recently happened with the Export Guild with hag taxes.
Hag taxes! And he flies into a rage. Just like throwing some of the extra pieces around. Preposterous. Tatterstraw.
Alright, Tatterstraw is gonna try to come in this time of trouble, going to try and secure contracts for the construction of new, now that the economy is collapsing and we need internal production, and so more housing, more stables for the undead. He's
Yes,
gonna
it worked
try
in
to
China.
make deals. Yes, he's gonna make deals with everybody to start constructing. But what they don't know is that this will lead me to rezone all of their key properties, so they can't do anything at all.
You saying something there, Tasha? Sounds like you're muttering under your breath.
He stops his music box. No! My hero point! My hero point!
Okay. Okay.
God.
It's just 1 point
He's,
lost instead
he's
of
actually
2.
narrating it. He's actually narrating. But what they don't know is I'm gonna rezone this square right here, and that piece right here can't do anything at all.
Everyone just casually moves their pieces away from that square.
Damn it.
Alright, Kyrell is going to use gaming lore. What a surprise, and the DC is going to be 22. His next move is going to be poisoning all the surrounding towns around Geb, adding to the undead army. Success! He now has 3 points.
Huh.
Lex!
It's an interesting move.
It is. Sometimes you must sacrifice pawns in order to win. That is the blood price, young reanimator. The name of the game and the name of the strategy.
Lex would like to argue that the last move Girl made is blatantly illegal in this game. Could I go with a legal lore?
Yes! Yes, you can! Because rules lawyers are very much a thing in TTRPGs.
Yes.
Oh, success! You gain a point. And Cairo is...
No, you can't poison it. There's no rules on that.
There's no
Also,
rules.
it would be something I would do.
Yes, you can't fault me for a good move that you yourself would do. And just begins a 15-minute discussion.
There's a
back and
difference
forth.
between our factions. That's the whole point. You're not playing the terrorists.
The difference between terrorists and freedom fighters is mascot.
Who writes the history books?
Yes.
Oh,
Wouldn't you
Yeah,
ever
those
watch
three-
True
Man.
Lies?
you're supposed to, go over foreign relations and kind of abusing that and bringing in maybe the defenders of Last Wall if they were still around. But no, you're doing something completely out of character.
Look, we're called the Export Guild, not the Import Guild.
Ah. Yeah.
By the way, I am 100% sold that every move he's making in this game is actually what's been happening.
Maybe we'll get some future moves. Who knows? Maybe you'll stop him before it happens. Jarloff.
Yeah, I'm just noticing what he just did and thinking about how that's
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
that's literally what we were told the man was wanting. Just gonna I'm not really planning on winning the game at this point. I'm more interested to see how it's going to be played, if that makes any sense. Just think a bit about farming, think some just generic things I would know as a reanimator in regards to how we make money, and just keep using that knowledge. Rolling Society again.
DC 22. You almost critted.
Yep.
1 point for you, young reanimator. It seems you do know how to play the game after all. But will you catch me in time?
Maybe, maybe not.
Risu, do you even care that this man has been verbatimly saying what's been happening, or are you just focused on winning?
Oh, I'm listening to what he's saying. Writing it all down. But for the game, I will I don't know. I'll increase all the new newspaper prices so that people have to buy them at a higher rate. You know.
Kyril just looks at you confused. What?
And then put part 2. You know, like part 2, so it doesn't complete all of the stuff. Like all the game designers do nowadays.
Oh God.
So I'll try a deception check.
All right, DC 23. Success, you get another point. Very steady progress from Risu. And Kyril looks genuinely confused. Why would you publish something before it's finished?
Oh, got me there.
Ren!
I'm gonna cheat and use thievery, but
Oh.
it's also being masked by, making up bullshit taxes and sleight of handing, then taking more from him than I am saying.
Okay. The DC is 21. Ooh, success. He doesn't seem to notice that you did the thievery, though, so there's no penalty this time. Tatterstraw.
Well, I'm gonna roll this first. But Tatters is gonna try to play off that his last move, like him mumbling, was actually part of the strategy, and he was bluffing to make them move away from the square.
Okay. Critical success. Ooh.
What they don't know is that I'm actually acting like I don't know what I'm doing to make them think that I'm acting that I don't know what I'm doing. And in fact, I'm actually acting that I don't know what I'm doing and don't know what I'm doing.
Cairo then asks the rest of you in the room if anyone else also hears that music.
No, that's a
No.
new thing. He's got his hobbies.
I think it's another room.
All right. So Cairo is going to unleash his next move. Over the course of the next few quarters, he's going to unleash an inveritable undead army from the Field of Maidens, from which shall rise an engine of Armageddon. DC 23. Success! Fortune favors the bold. Lex.
Yeah. I'm seeing a lot of openings on those fields of mains. Let's just move in for an attack there.
Well,
It sounds like the right thing.
that sounds pretty normal for a bunch of maidens. He
Yeah,
says.
yeah.
Ah, crit success. 2 points for you.
Yeah, wonderful, wonderful.
Your aggressive play is well rewarded.
Fortune favors the bold.
I've never seen the Carters Guild played like this before. It's quite interesting.
Oh, you gotta visit the forums in, back home.
They're a terrible place. I won't go there.
Oh, you can pick about such fine details. And
I
know
lurk.
the darnest things.
I lurk at best.
You may lurk into our halls.
Jarloff.
Just think about the actual Carter's Consortium handling themselves entirely by screaming at people that they are going to ferry their goods.
It's just like we are going to
doing
nuke you. Like Gandhi in Civilization.
Yeah, dude. They're delivering high explosive ordnance.
The package.
Okay. So, Kyrill's moves are really interesting. I'm gonna have to ask him about his strategy at some point. Maybe not now, but
Oh, he's happy to answer questions about his strategy.
I just asked, like, is this a common thing he does? Is this a new idea he's been having, or?
Well, this is something I've had in the works for quite a while now, especially with the new war brewing. One can't have too many alternative stratagems. After all, opportunities come in many forms. But the control of a government? A government like Geb, long-lasting, effective, stability, unlike which any other political entity has never known? Not even Nex itself? The Magambia or Absalon? Always switching out rulers from time and time again, Geb remains strong because Geb is immortal. Even Nex left his seat of power. That tells you what happens to people when they rule. Geb is the only one that toughed it out.
That does sound like something you might see in a board game forum.
Or in a Paradox Interactive forum.
Fool, he thinks I will believe his lies? I know it's just a bluff.
I don't. Okay.
There's that music again. You heard it, right?
Yeah. So he's unleashing an undead horde from the Field of Maidens in the south of the country. Can I use my knowledge of undead to try and be a bit,
Yes.
I guess, reactive in this instance? All right.
DC 21. Ooh, critical success. You get 2 points. And you realize that the name Armageddon Engine isn't like any undead that you've heard before. In fact, it references a legendary creature of which there is only one.
I have a delightful time chatting with Kyrill about the Armageddon engine during these other turns then.
Okay. We've made it to round 4 with only 2 more rounds to go. Is anyone nearing 10 points?
No.
No.
It might be time to name an ally or do an allied win to combine your points. After all, sharing power is much better than losing what you have. Make some compromises. Risu.
Try to make a ally with our Bloodlord here, saying, I'm good at being able to see the weaknesses of weaknesses of others. Maybe we can make a deal. And I'll
I'm-
try and use an esoteric lore to help him.
Before you do that, he tells you that he can only strike an allyship with you if you can immediately win with him now. He has 4 points.
If I roll well, if I get a crit on this, I could immediately win, yeah?
Okay.
I don't know if I want this game to end now. I'd rather see his full strategy, if anything.
That's actually a good point. Okay, I'll just roll by myself then.
Okay.
Let's see. I'll just see other people's vulnerabilities and maybe give it to him later.
Okay. So that is a success with your esoteric lore. And I guess the esoterica in this case is the dice or some sort of game piece.
Yeah.
The weakness is the cheap plastic they use to make the set. Ren!
Oh, more cheating.
More cheating. DC 22, please. Success. 1 point for you, and he does not notice
More
you're
tax.
cheating. More tax.
War tax in this case.
War tax. Ah, yes. Yes, the tried and true strategy of the tax collectors. Tatterstraw.
Tatterstar's gonna offer allyship to the tax collectors. Our worst enemy.
Oh, a bold move.
Yes. Just, to collaborate on zones and taxes. But what he doesn't know, I will be skimming off taxes and join the organization that's gonna hunt the person skimming off taxes. That way I play both sides.
Is it Death Note?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
I thought it was like Twilight Zone for a second.
Nah.
No, it's the theme. It's the whole bit is the.
Oh no. As soon as it said you confirm Death Note, I get where it comes from. It's just my
It's
first
them-
impression was Twilight Zone.
It's them monologuing their strategy to this music when they're doing absolutely no conversation for 10 minutes and just stare at each other.
Yes, and then they get tinted red or blue.
Yes, exactly.
Oh,
I
God.
was gonna make this joke. Why are my eyes changing color?
And in the
Wait,
end,
he has
they
a
make an
torch.
illegal move in chess.
Yes.
Yes. So what do the tax collectors say? Do I need to roll for this?
Nope, you two agree if you want an allyship or not. And if the number of points you have wins, you automatically win.
Sure, I have 4 points currently.
So do I.
So, together with your allyship, you have 8 points, but you'll only have 1 turn.
We can do that. Do I still get to do a move this turn?
Yes. Yes, you do.
Well, here's a problem. If I crit, we stop.
Yep.
But if I don't, we get one more move from like this one and one more.
Nope, you only get 1 move when you're a single organization. If the two of you ally, then you only have 1 turn per round.
Oh, so we have 1 turn per round, not just one
Right.
turn to win or we
Right.
lose.
Right. You have to be very certain. That's why he won't
I see.
ally with anyone unless you have the points to win. In which case he will offer to ally with someone.
That speaks a lot about our prospects and what we're gonna do next.
Yes.
All right, what are you thinking, Ren? Gamble it on one good roll.
Sure. I mean, your performance works pretty well in general.
Yes, it's plus
All right.
17.
So before you make the roll,
plus 18 is your performance.
So
With
before
it,
you
with it,
make
I
the
am.
roll, is this allyship a done deal?
Yeah.
Okay, so you're allied. Go ahead and make the roll.
And you want to do the honors this time? Or you already did, right? So that's our one move for the both of us?
Nope, you get your move. Go ahead.
I'm gonna try to cheat myself. I'm gonna try to cheat.
Okay, cheat with DC 21. Ooh! You fail. And he kicks both Ren and Tatterstraw away from the table and says, like, I will never speak to either of you again. How dare you cheat at the game of blood price? And he has 2 guards take you away. Remaining with
Really, Tatters?
3
Really?
players.
Okay. I'll back. That went downhill quickly.
Yes.
Can,
That's
can,
why you...
Can I use my hero point to let him reroll?
Nope.
Can I use my other hero point?
Yes.
Still a fail.
All right.
I didn't expect to be kicked out. I didn't want to win. I
There-
just wanted to lose a turn.
There
Yeah.
are very specific consequences to cheating. Had you chosen any other skill other than cheating with thievery, it would have been just a point. But he is a very sore loser when it comes to cheating. Both of you consider yourselves marked by the Export Guild. 3 players left.
Well, at least they can learn something useful.
We apologize for the little one. He sometimes gets too big for his shoes.
Yeah. Hag
By the way, I
tax.
like that my entire strategy in this game has been a perfect mirror of the arc of the actual show.
Oh no.
Pretty much just, oh no, one wrong move. Done.
Yes. Yes. So his DC is 24, and his next move, if you didn't guess already, is going to take over the capital of Mekatar with martial law. Only the soldiers that he's using won't be the official army of Geb. They'll be the new nationalists gathered from those destroyed towns and cities on the outskirts of Geb. Ah, success! 5 points! I'm nearly there. And with Mekatar under my control, soon I will control all the great factions and the throne, and Geb will be mine. Lex.
Oh, you skipped me.
Oh, I'm sorry. How did
okay.
how'd I skip you? Okay, go, Risu. I'm
Too
sorry.
deceptive.
Yes.
Do we have one more round after this, or is this?
Nope, it's round 5, and then round 6 is its own round.
Gotcha.
Hey, you skipped me.
No skippy skip.
No, actually, I think the turn order was alright because first it was Rizu with checking out the material of the dice. Then Ren did his thing. Then
Ren?
Tatters.
Then Tatters
Yeah.
went, yeah. And then him. Okay, so it is Kyrill's turn. Okay, now it's Lex's turn.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Sorry for.
No, I confused it. No, you're good. You're good.
It's okay. Board games are confusing, especially when they don't have rules.
Yeah, and people getting taken out of initiative is a little bit. It changes things.
Yes. What will the Carter's Consortium do now when you can't get in or out of the city, I wonder?
Well, martial law is just another kind of law. So there are ways and, legalities to consider, which I will absolutely try to abuse as the Carters.
Yeah. Contraband? In my city?
It isn't contraband if there's no declaration for it.
That's 1 point for you.
Yeah.
Jarloff! Mekatar is seized.
This is interesting. Look to Kyril and ask him, so, you go into the whole thing of how Geb is the superior leader because he's been around so long, and now I guess you think you can take that same throne?
Thinking and doing are two different things, my young friend. I don't think
Of course.
I react.
I play much the same way.
This isn't a good strategy in most games. I just gotta mention. It's...
No, but when you go last...
Yeah, no, for last play in this game, it's fine, but I'm amazed Kirill, you choose to play it this way.
Considering he says he's trying to hold it with his new section of nationalists, though the actual armies of Geb are... Would he have control of those at that point?
Yes,
Or could
when,
I use...
when you raise when you
Alright.
raise the undead, you know for a fact that you would have control of them. Because they
Well,
would
no,
be
I mean-
loyal to you.
He has his nationalists, but he's not using the standard armies. He's
No.
using the nationalists.
Yeah. They're
Would
basically
that mean
a
he now
militia.
has control of the standard armies?
Yes.
Okay. Makes using undead a bit harder to justify.
It's never happened before in South American countries.
Oh.
What, an army of undead?
What? No. No. Unless you count the cocaine, no.
I am going to... How do I justify Arcana?
You don't. No fancy hand waving in this game, young man. It's all strategy.
It's gotta be a funny way to roll the dice.
There is. It's called thievery, but don't get caught.
What's my DC with Society right now again? 23?
If you have used it twice before, it is 23, yes.
Alright. Yeah, it would be 23 at this point. That is my best odds. I can't think of a good justification for undead in the current scenario. I'll try to use just societal knowledge of Gab and what would remain outside of Mekatar at this point.
Oh. Pooling your resources, I see. Oh, one away
Yep.
from being a crit. Yes, it seems you're much more aware than you let on.
I try to do that. Always helps to look less competent sometimes. And with that, go to Risu.
Risu.
I want to see what he says, so I'm just gonna do his deception and do celebrant stuff, you know.
You so what?
Just bluff that everything's fine. Propaganda
exactly.
everywhere outside of Mekatar is great.
Oh,
Nothing's happening, nothing's going on, you know, it's all fake news, whatever they're talking about right
It's
now.
fine, it's fine, it's fine.
Oh, it is not
It
fine.
indeed
Oh,
was
oh,
not fine.
hero point. Let's see.
Okay. Alright.
Okay, it's
It
fine.
is fine. Yep.
It is
yeah.
fine.
Oh, so how many points does that make?
6.
6. He proposes an allyship with the Celebrants. You could win the game now.
I'll accept. But
All
he has
right.
to be. But he has to be below me in like standing and like the rules
I
here.
accept. You can accept it from literally anyone else too.
Ah, yes.
So since we're both winning, he owes me one since I have one higher point than him.
You just said you wanted to hear him talk more. We could force him to.
I accept. And in
Okay.
return, I shall give you a Rod of Wonder.
Worth.
And you now have 1 reputation with the Export Guild for every Blood Price player other than himself, which is 3. So each of you can take 3 points of reputation from the Export Guild.
And can I be like, what would you have done on your last turn if if we didn't make an alliance?
Complete global saturation.
Oh, okay.
I mean, that's a fairly standard move, and it would have left you open for my next move, which would have been a coordinated bombing all over Mekatar. Because if the whole deal is, headless, it's an awfully lot harder to win.
You didn't expect my trump card, nuking the capital.
Yes,
Yes.
I didn't expect
You
that at
should-
all.
should-
Please don't do that.
Oh, I'm perfectly fine to run in there with a nuke and obliterate the place if it gets taken over. I'm a patriot.
All right. So, before he bids you farewell with your reputation and your gift, he tells you that he wants to question Nathanoma about the scam she and her fellow hags have been running on the Export Guild. He asks you to bring her to him alive once you're done with her. And with that, he will leave.
Oh, we are not expert at non-lethal stuff. Oh, that might be hard.
But she's alive, right? She's not undead.
He is a hag that is alive,
Grave hag.
as far as we know.
But, in worst case scenario, speak with dead or reanimate her.
He specifically
Speak
said
with Dead
alive.
isn't an arcane. He
Yeah.
specifically said alive, and I also noticed that he said, or at least it was implied, he was friends with her.
Fair. I mean, if she is not immune to all my mental abilities, like all other enemies are immune to all my mental abilities, there's a chance.
Only mindless things are immune. Undead are not inherently.
Does anyone want the Rod of Wonder? Or do we just want to sell it because it's Rod of Wonder?
I don't even know what it does, really.
It's like in D&D the wild magic table.
Oh,
It just gives you a random effect.
I love the chaos of it, but I won't, won't risk it.
It's a
to
fun
look at-
item.
I mean, the thing
Are
that
you
I'm seeing
good?
right now that's the worst thing is that you turn blue, green, or purple with an unlimited duration.
Is that the worst? That's literally just.
Yeah, I'm looking at the certain thing that says fireball.
But you choose you. Let me
Nope,
look at.
centered on you.
Oh,
Is,
man,
are you
well,
you kidding?
Nope.
oh, yeah, oh. Sorry,
No,
missed
It says.
that one.
Doesn't it say choose a creature within 60 feet and then roll
Right.
on the table?
but the effect is fireball centered on you, I thought.
Yeah,
There
no,
is
it's
one
just
that says
fireball.
that now.
no, it's
No,
fireball on
just-
the target.
Okay.
But
Yeah, it's just fireball.
These things are weird. Like they're
I mean,
It,
it
the
doesn't
problem
seem
is
too bad.
what it does is from nothing to wrong thing to
yeah.
maybe what you want.
Listen, I'll take it and screw up the most important moment. But are you really gonna give this item to Tatterstruck?
Yeah, sure.
Why not? Honestly, it doesn't really seem that bad. Just when you
Actually-
cast it, cast it on an enemy.
Maybe we shouldn't give this to Tatterstraw. He'll be mad if he sees him with it.
It's like 230 gold, so I mean, I just want to sell it.
Yeah, I'm perfectly fine with that.
Same.
Okay. It's a rare item, bro.
It is.
Just
It
keep-
is.
Just keep using it and try to shoot gems out of it.
They're only worth one silver piece each, though.
That could be up to 4 gold
That's
when you fire it. You just do
Fireball.
that nearly 100 times.
Oh no, 4
Just
gold.
that elephant comes out of the. out of it.
Listen, I am chaotic neutral. I will use it for both good and bad.
I mean,
I wonder what
wanna keep
amount
that.
of time you would need to make a Rod of Wonder pay for itself.
A long
What
time.
what would be hilarious is if there was, say, like an enemy right next to a MacGuffin they really needed, and you got 47 or 48 and made it permanently ethereal. Non-living, unattended object closest to the target.
you know, I want Tatterstraws to have it, honestly. Like, I just want him to use it once.
Yeah.
And just fuck around with it. It seems like a perfect item for your character, honestly.
It's a perfect item for me.
Yeah. Take it.
Okay. Is it in?
No, you just have to go to
I see.
equipment in the compendium.
All right, I have it. I now have 2 sticks.
Sticks. So what happens now?
At this point, we kind of have to go to school.
Okay.
So I guess we should talk about the possibility of bringing her in alive. Do we even want to bother?
Me?
Gems on the first try, baby.
My God, jumps just shoot out of the thing all over the library, and people are screaming and running.
Roll your d4. Let's see how many you get. 20 gems.
You do 20 damage to everybody in the library.
Librarian immediately comes up to you and kicks you all out.
That is perfect. You see if you embrace the chaos.
I told him only use it in battle. Okay.
You
But free
gave
money.
me a shiny stick.
You
I
gave
had
me
to
a
press
gun.
the
It was
button.
loaded.
How many
Yes.
types can you use this? Oh my gosh, you can use it. 1d4.
Can't use
You have
it
to
for
roll a
another-
d4.
Yeah, roll a d4. That's how many hours we're gonna need to wait. Okay,
1.
that's great.
I'm 1 with the staff.
Wonderful.
You can do it anywhere from 24 to 6 times a day.
That's great.
So, did we try to take in this hag alive?
I mean, we got a hex-sized bag. The last one
That's
I
true.
shoved here. Yeah.
We can at least try, and if we're unable to,
I can make my spells non-lethal.
I can always, if I'm near enough, stabilize her immediately after she drops, so long as she's not too dead.
I will try to make her not too dead if I hit her.
And remember, only the last hit really needs to be pulled back. Everything else, yeah, go for blood.
Oh, I didn't say I'm pulling back. I'm just saying I'm trying to not be as lethal as usual.
No, because that's what I mean. That's what I mean. Until she's actually nearing, actually dying, you don't need to hold back.
Oh, I won't be holding back. Trust me.
By the way, we haven't used it in battle yet, but I specifically picked this up for you, Lex.
Oh?
Implement of
Awesome.
destruction.
Oh.
And then winning streak. If you crit, you keep being hastened. It's a
That-
nightmare.
That sounds like a nightmare, yes.
So, would you guys like to take a rest and sleep for a day?
Yeah, I
you've
think
spent the entire night doing drugs and everything, and
I came and played board games.
yes.
What skill would it be to learn information about grave hags?
That would definitely be a society roll.
I think before actually heading to sleep, I'd like to try and learn more about them.
All right. Well, you can't do that in the library now.
Yep, that's great. Hey Risu. Oh, he's muted. I was gonna ask him to just change forms and get some books.
Lander alive?
Yes, very alive.
Would Risu be a-okay with changing to
Okay.
That's gonna be me when you tell me what I need to change into and die going in.
just anybody else, preferably a dead, just go in there, just get some books on hags. That's all I would need.
Wait, where do you need me to go? Library?
Yeah.
Yes, the place you
Yeah.
were just kicked out of for shooting
Yeah,
gems
but-
all over the place.
I bedazzled
enough.
it.
Yeah, definitely change your appearance before you do that.
I will go as.
Well, we have enough gems. You could be the Rhinestone Cowboy.
I'll just go Pasagi. Pasagi the Poisoner.
Oh, so close to Alkenstar, I remember. Oh, yeah, you can get in and out as that person. No one knows who that is. Which books you taking? You wanna check of society so you know which is the correct books to get them?
Can I do Esoteric Lore? Maybe?
Yes, DC 28.
Because that's like my creature one.
Yep.
28?
DC 28. It's a hard check.
This is not working. Here we go. Need 11.
11. You
go.
succeed. You get some books on hags.
All right.
Hacking it up.
What
Yep,
would the
yep.
bonus to that be? Or do we just know about grave hags now?
Well, you know about hags in general, particularly one that tried to trick 2 children into coming into her gingerbread house. Esoteric law only works for the thaumaturge, not for the person who wants to use their esoterica.
What the?
Do those books give a bonus to society checks for others, though?
I could disguise someone else if you want me to do that.
That would work too. And no, they will not.
Who wants to go in? Who has a good society?
I think I know what's happening now. You guys have been awake for so long, doing so much drugs, drinking, playing so many board games that you're finally starting to slow down like normal people.
Yes, how do you party? Well, I take drugs, I drink, and I play board games. A wild
just-
night out.
I just use the Hunter's Hackbook for this.
The what?
The Hunter's Hackbook.
Oh,
The
yes!
Grimoire.
You finally remembered that you had it! Yes, you can!
I've had it. This is the only time it seems to have come up, because a lot of those spells aren't super great.
Yeah.
For what we've been doing.
Yeah.
Would there be a bonus to this, or
Yes.
what would it be?
+1 circumstance.
All right, here we go.
You know about grave hags. Rot-skinned grave hags usually lair in cemeteries, mausoleums, and other burial sites. Unlike most hags, they can't alter their appearance into a comely shape, so they hide from most observers. Grave hags consider such predatory life hiding out in a graveyards to be pitiful and squalid. They prefer to dwell in lands where necromancy is common and undeath isn't unusual. So she's in the right place. Unlike the other hags that were against their nature or more than they appeared to be. Schemers and plotters, they surround themselves with minions whom they send on missions to collect corpses for ghastly rituals.
Any resistances or immunities?
Yes, cold iron. Surprise, surprise. And immunity to negative.
All right. I had a feeling, but now I know for sure not to bring innovation. Got it. I'll cure all that I know, the group, and then I'm going to pass out and then prepare spells that don't include innovation.
Risu can tell you something from the esoterica he's collected.
Oh?
If you are grabbed or restrained by the grave hag, you take a penalty against saving throws from their spells.
Huh.
So if this hag made a ritual of you in advance and then pinned you down to the ground, you would be more susceptible to it.
Well, shall we rest and then attend the lecture?
Sounds good.
Sounds good. I could technically disguise everyone as students too, by the way, so.
Well, we're being given actual enrollment, you know.
Yeah, just in case we need to look different, I don't know, you know.
It's a very simple matter to get those wizarding robes, Harry.
Aye, boss.
By the way, I'll need to dip out in about an hour.
No sweat. So, are you going to the public lecture at night or during the day? After you rest.
What does your grave hack knowledge say? When is she least powerful?
During her lecture, probably.
Nothing pertaining to time of day.
Probably daytime isn't as pleasant. But nothing that would be immediately helpful, I don't think.
The students might help us in our battle against the hag.
Considering they like to use minions, I'm pretty sure that's exactly what the students are.
No, it possibly can't be.
Shall I take you there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, I did not fill everything with tokens, so just imagine that the seats are filled. And you may sit where you like, even if it's up in the very expensive seats. All right, so there are 2 locations on the Twilight Castrium campus likely to interest you. The halls where Nathelma gives public lectures, that's here, and her private office. The Twilight Castrium is an old fortress with multiple stone towers and an imposing gatehouse. Students of all ages mingle in a large central courtyard, while staff and occasional faculty stride purposefully through the adjacent corridors. A large double door stands open in the courtyard with a chalk sign standing next to it, creating unusual undead by visiting Professor Nalthenma. Second floor observation gallery. 2 students, obviously late, hurry up a broad staircase to the second floor. And here you are at the public lecture. This is your best chance to see her in action and gauge her abilities. And you have slipped in amidst a hall of interested necromancy students. This particular lecture demonstrates a series of aspects of the Create Undead ritual. You may simply observe her if you choose, or you can begin probing her magical skills and risk drawing attention to yourself. It's completely up to you. And she's going to stand over this oval-shaped lecture space. 20 feet below is the observation gallery with you. And dressed in severe black dress and matching wool jacket, most of the lecture space is filled with 15 feet long table upon which this enormous 2-headed morgue is lying. Nalthema begins breaking up the Create Undead rituals explanation over several lecture sessions, moving steadily but swiftly through the process and pausing for occasional questions from watching students. She's well into the lecture series as you visit. And one student raises their hand and says, "Excuse me, Professor." He raises his hand, the gallery, and Nalthema pause. Yes, Mr. Dickler, is it? The grave hag responds. The man nods. Yes, ma'am. Your test subject. Solvik. Yes, Solvik, of course. Solvik has 2 heads. Normally, the black onyx used in the ritual is placed under the subject's tongue. So, do we break it in half and put 1 piece under each tongue? Or do we just pick one and hope for the best? And this is in a different section. The onyx is what instills the subject with positive feelings towards its creator. I recommend you place an entire onyx under each tongue, Mr. Dickler, unless you want Sylvek to eat your face, which I think we can all agree would constitute a failing grade. There's some polite laughter before Nathelma asks, "Does anyone else have a question?"
I'm going to use occultism and just question how she's able to ensure turning a 2-headed creature into an effective creature that normally uses bite, right? Like,
Yeah.
you're potentially splitting resources between 2 mouths that are normally 1.
Okay, your DC is 23 for occultism.
I'm gonna use my hero point there.
Okay. Ooh. Both sides of the same coin. And the laughter is a bit aggregated against her as she looks quite embarrassed and says, "Well, you say 2 mouths better than 1," as she begins to fluster a little.
Tatter starts slowly raising his hand.
All right, Ren, you get 1 debate point. Please keep track of your debate points. Ah, yes,
Only
you
one
there.
from a crit?
Oh, 2. Excuse me, 2 for crit.
So you guys are not gonna stop me, huh?
No.
I'll allow it. Let's see what
I'm not even next to you. Sure, Ren can see it, but I can't just stop you.
Yep, it's not like you're going to get thrown out of the lecture hall like you were thrown out of the game or the library.
Yes.
I'm just gonna let Tasha say what he's gonna.
I want
know
to
he
see
can't
what
be
he
stopped.
says.
Yeah, Tatter slowly
Any
raises his
professor that would throw somebody out of a lecture clearly hasn't the best interest of their students at heart.
Yes, that is the entire U.S. Educational system, yes.
hand. Not my experience, but I love it. Yeah, Tatters is gonna slowly raise his hand, and when addressed, he's gonna say, "Is this how babies are made?"
So go ahead and roll DC 23 performance to see if if it sticks. Because remember, these are college students. It does. You gain 1 debate point for the "where babies come from" joke.
Tatters is confused.
I'm trying to figure out if I want to say what's coming to mind right now, or if that seems a bit much on the first thing that they're going to show. Or is she going to show multiple types of unusual undead? Is that something we know?
That is a good question. Use your undead lore, DC 18.
Because I was going to say, this is a bit metagamey, but it feels strange to say, I have unusual undead for you, and then present Morgs, a powerful but pretty standard form of undead, just using a different living base than what's normal. It's a little bit, you know.
That's a crit. You gain 2 debate points. As she looks at you flustered and says, "What's your name, young man?"
Jorloff?
Well, Jarloff.
Wasn't it summon undead level 3?
Fuck up.
Responding with this poignant question, both you and Ren, for your critical success, can now ask a metagaming question such as, what is her highest level spell, or which is her weakest saving throw? Ren, you go first, because you critted first.
What is her weakness?
You knew that from the book. Cold Eye.
Oh, we didn't know that from the book? Okay, I thought I missed that.
You did know that. Yep.
Then, yeah, we'll take lowest save. What is her lowest save?
Reflex. Now, Jarloff,
Oh, we will be tripping some hags.
you may ask your metagamey question for your critical success.
Well, I think. Just trying to think of what good metagaming questions there would be other than that one, because that's the pressing one. But what's next?
Well, you have 3 pieces of information from her already. Her highest level spell is a 5th level spell you got from the Blood Lord. From Ren, you got that the reflex is her lowest saving throw. And from Risu, you got Cold Iron.
Cold Iron's a weakness, all that. The only other thing I can think of... Fortunately, I forget the metagamey questions that are already put in there, but I'm interested in her highest save.
Okay, her highest save is Fortitude. And it doesn't seem like the class has turned against you guys. In fact, they really like the "where do babies come from" thing, so they're kind of on pleasant terms now. And as the lecture finishes up, are you guys going to ask any more questions or whatnot, or are you just going to let it play out, or...
I don't want to be too big of a thorn in her side at this moment. I think I've already made a pretty big impression of basically just going up and pointing at what I assume is her greatest work and saying, is that all you got?
Yeah. So, the lecture finishes up, and Nalthema comes by the people in the cheap seats over here, basically passes Jarloff and says, while carrying her books and everything, and her 4 teaching assistants follow her out, "I don't think you'll find 3 Gates a very comfortable place." And then she just walks by you very coldly.
I think you're confusing, freedom of education with diplomatic immunity.
I haven't been comfortable for the last month.
"My teaching assistants will see you out!" And these 4 men get up from their
No,
seats
they won't.
and start making you leave. Ren, you watch all this unfold from the good seats. I need that reference. I need that reference. They begin ushering you out.
Now, is she going back to an office in this building, her own home somewhere?
It's possible she could be going to either of those places.
Ren's going to hail her and just to see where she's going.
Okay.
So, how fragile do these teaching assistants look?
Let's see. They are CR5 grad students. Many of them still awaiting their applications to be answered.
This is not...
And that creature's there, though, too, still.
Yep. This
Yeah,
creature that makes the encounter beyond severe.
I won't cause a fight. I'll just tell them. I'll try to make them shit their pants a little bit, along the lines of, you might have gotten on the wrong side of a bloodlord today.
I'm fine to leave. I think this is all perfectly acceptable. They want us to leave. The lecture is over. I don't know what we would even be doing here.
Yeah.
No student union party for you.
Okay.
In here.
In here, yes.
Because you're making me laugh. I'm giving you good life advice. Find somebody else to be a TA for. Have a nice day.
You'd be surprised how many unpaid positions there are here.
No, I won't.
I won't.
Alright, so Ren, are you going to be doing a stealth, or what you doing?
Oh yeah, it'll be stealth.
Okie dokie. The DC you must beat is 28. Oh.
Damn.
Well, she lost you in the winding halls, so it's possible she could have gone back to her office or to her townhouse. You're not sure.
All right. Well, then I'll do a society check just to try and figure out at least where her office is, because it would presumably be this building or an adjacent one.
Oh yeah, you don't need to do a check. You can ask any student. They know her.
Okay. Well, then I'll head back to where everyone else is.
Yeah. So what's it going to be, gentlemen? The townhouse or the office hours?
I think office hours, right? I mean, we are beating up / arresting her, but doing it like properly without breaking in would be easier to explain if we get in trouble. Like, if you break into their house, you can't claim, no, he started it.
Actually, in this country,
yes,
you can.
we can. We have qualified
Well-
immunity.
Well, one, that, two, we're probably going to have some pretty good evidence that she did in fact start it.
I'm fine with whatever.
I think it's more likely that whatever is incriminating would be within her house rather than the
Okay.
office, if only because it's probably a lot harder to hide those kinds of documents when you have to have a bunch of other documents because you're a teacher.
I shall take you to the townhouse. Because you know two bloodlords that know this woman, so you obviously know where she lives.
Lex checked addresses on her tax returns.
You find out she's never paid taxes.
Obviously.
Such villainy.
Alright, because of the lack of paying taxes, we now are within our full rights to arrest her, break into the house, do the whole Al Capone thing, you know.
Mm-hmm.
How do we want to go about this? Does anybody want to go in under the pretense of quietness, or are we going in together with the door?
I think quiet would be nice, if only to start.
Did we learn of any of her elemental specialties like an element should prefer?
Probably negative. She's immune to it. She's a grave hag, necromancer. It's
Doesn't really help me.
other than that, I don't know, fire maybe. Pretty common damage type. That's really all I have.
Yeah, I'll just wait. I won't use my staff charges. Actually, no, probably should. I'll slap a fire resist on myself and let's say, Lex, do you have any kind of resistance like that?
I have all of the resistances, theoretically.
Then me and Risu. Fire
Yeah.
resist 5.
Cool.
All right, so the two-story brick townhouse is one of several such homes that fill this quiet neighborhood not far from the Twilight Castrium. Oak trees draped with moss shade the grassy lawn, and a few old gravestones. The front door is flanked by large windows, and more windows line the second floor. Mysterious green lights flicker from an upper window behind gray curtains.
Well, shall we knock, or do we want to try an alternate entry?
I mean, if we want to go in quietly through the front door, I would still be a bad choice because I would open this door very loudly.
Can't Ren pick locks, or am I...
Oh
sort
yeah,
of
Ren can
mistaken?
pick locks.
I can aid you, Ren, too, if you want.
Is the door locked though, or?
Well, you haven't gone up to it to say.
That's what I thought. Okay.
I was fully ready to kick it down, but we're not doing that.
Is there perhaps a back door to this building, or?
Maybe.
I'd say we just take a quick look around the perimeter, though I'm not going to be doing it, as I'm a very squishy person.
Okay. As this is happening, some other things are happening.
Yeah, please don't split up like this. Hold up, guys. I didn't say check both sides at the same time.
Who dares trespass on the lady's property? Ah, you've split yourself up into 3 parties for my 3 creatures. How convenient. It's perfect. I love this.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck.
This guy looks pretty cool.
You there, young man. Is your name Summon Undead level 3? Recently summoned Undead level 2 due to character growth?
Oh, Rafe, I'm that too, basically.
No.
This... No.
No, just
A
no.
little bit.
Ooh, very nice. The security system is working. And while all this is happening on the second floor, you hear snapping and cursing as she yells at someone and says, like, finish it quickly, paint his picture, yes, Jarloff, yes, he'll pay. And we'll leave it there for next time.
All right.
Okay.
So
Yes, paint his picture.
that's what's happening. I'm sorry.
Draw him like one of his French girls.
You have any idea what window that's coming from?
The second floor window, yes.
She's drawing him like one of her Gulch boys, I guess.
Yes, like one of my teaching aids.
Ugh.
So what did you think of Blood Price, the most fun and most developed game ever within the subsystem of Piazzo's modules?
Well, that remark I made was not entirely out of character, or in character, I will say. But
I like-
also, the setup is great. The game is roll until alliance happens.
Yes.
Yeah. And while I see that there's absolutely a whole lot you could do with it, it also seems like a lot of work to develop a whole game for one gimmick thing.
It is. That's
Yeah,
probably why they didn't do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't blame them for not doing that, but I will say that what is there, I feel like you could design something at least a little bit more,
Any
at least
thing-
rock, paper, scissorsy.
You
I
could,
don't
like,
know.
you play checkers or something like that. I mean,
There's like, here's an idea for a board game we had.
Yes.
That's it.
Didn't we go through this in the Ruby Phoenix several times? We had an idea, but it's up to you to do it.
Yep. I like our take on it. I actually think I'm gonna edit just a game tomorrow
Okay.
as a clip.
Oh.
I liked our take, and I actually wrote down a couple notes, including those 2 clips that you guys sent in the memes that I will be using.
Ah, very nice. I still have the Dasani clip that I will post this week. I did not forget. It did not help that I was half asleep while looking for it, found it, and then continued to look for it. But after I had slept, I had found out that I had found it. Alrighty, guys. I hope you have a wonderful day. And next week, we shall see the resolution of Jarloff's aunt.
All right.
Interesting.
I'm looking forward to it. Hope you all have a good week.
Yeah.
You too.
You
Remember,
two
Brimble,
guys.
that I'll be gone the following game, not next week, but the
Right,
week
right.
after that.
That we're gonna
And,
wrap things up next week. Don't you worry.
Okay.